Well, hello, Lakeland Church family. I'm your worship pastor, Jake, sitting here with our lead pastor, senior pastor, Phil. We just wanted to talk to you guys for a few moments about our night of worship coming up Saturday, October 29th. It's just a week and a half away. It's at 7 p.m. right here in our worship center, and we could not be more excited for our night of worship.
I love it when God's people come together to worship, and that's their only focus. It's not going to be a focus like on a Sunday morning or any time else we come together. We're coming together for the express purpose of declaring His praise, and we want you to invite as many people as you can. This is not just for Lakeland. This is for churches in Southern Illinois to come together and experience His presence together. The Bible tells us, as the high praises of God in our mouth and a two-edged sword in our hand, we can execute vengeance on the kings and bind kings with chains and nobles with fetters of iron. That's the praise of God that arrests the spirits of darkness. And because that's the darkest weekend of our culture, we want to be here to express the praise of God, to turn back the deeds of darkness.
One of the things Pastor Phil and I talk about often is, what is worship? Is it songs and then comes the sermon? Is it greeting at the front doors? Is it what the guys do in the tech booth? There's a lot of different opinions on what worship might mean. And so one of our focuses that night is emphasizing the importance of worship, what it means, while we have an opportunity, as Pastor Phil said, to open the doors to the community where we join together as God's people from all over, hopefully all surrounding counties from here in Jackson, and come together to worship our King together. And so we're really looking forward to it.
One of the things I'm looking forward to is in 1 Corinthians 10:31, it says, whatever you do, whether you eat or drink, do it all for the glory of God. And part of this focus of this evening of worship is to help us draw close to God and understand what His presence does as it affects everything that we do in life. Whether we go to the grocery store, whether we go to buy gas. Did you think buying gas could be an act of worship? Yeah, it is. And I want to give you my definition of worship. You'll hear more about that in a week and a half. But this is from A.W. Tozer. He says, worship is to be so personally and hopelessly in love with God that the idea of a transfer of affection never even remotely exists. Now, if we define worship that way, we haven't approached that yet. But we're hoping that we'll help move our people into that idea of understanding what it means to sell everything to follow Him.
With just a click of a button, even on this video, you tap the share button, you can send it all over to your Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media outlets you're on. For those of you, too, who your friends don't have Facebook, maybe they like to stay away from it or they're on another platform, that share button, you can copy the link, send it to them that way. One thing that I like to do to help promote this as well, because we want to reach the lost as well. We want to come together as believers, but we want people to see the unity of God's people lifting up His name through song and through His word and through conversations. And so sharing that on all outlets is really helpful. I love to do a text. You can send a text out reminding people. Remind yourself, set it in your calendars now. But add it to your stories. That's my favorite thing. Your story lasts 24 hours. We're going to be putting out some stuff over the next week and a half to help promote it, to give you some free tools and resources to do that. So feel free to use those. If you don't follow our page, you just like it, make sure you follow to keep up with that so that we can help get those resources out to everybody in the surrounding counties.
I'm really excited about this night in particular because there's a passage in Daniel chapter 3 when 3 Hebrew young men decided not to buy their knee to false gods. They got thrown in the fire, but in the middle of that being thrown in the fire, all the things that bound them fell off. And the third person, or the second person of the Trinity, the Son of God, showed up in that fire. God inhabits the praises of His people. And when times are difficult and times are hard, as you praise God and worship God in those difficult, hard times, He draws near to His people in those times. So what better opportunity we have in the culture we're now in to draw close to God in worship and see Him draw close to His people. So I hope you'll come join us that Saturday night, October 29th, 7 to 9 o'clock, right here at Lakeland Church. And I promise you that God's going to show up and He's going to draw near to you, and you're going to experience His presence in some rather profound ways. So hope you'll join us on that night.
Yeah. And be on the lookout for a text number. One thing we want to do is going to be really fun. I think we're going to offer up an opportunity for you to ask questions maybe you have about worship. What is worship? What does this mean? Why do we do this in a church service? All surrounded about worship questions, not KFC or Chick-fil-A, which one should I choose? Not those.
I think KFC.
I do too. Yeah.
KFC is, I think, better. I think the Chick-fil-A sauce needs a little bit to be desired. So I'm a KFC fan.
Yeah. If we could get KFC's customer service on the line of Chick-fil-A, that'd be pretty cool.
There we go. Yes.
My hometown had the original KFC.
Wow.
So I'm favored to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Well, now that you know our preference for chicken restaurants, I hope you'll come and find out that we have a higher preference. It's for God's praise to be known among his people.
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
It's a good
Anything else, Mr.
transition.
Jake?
Just excited. Hope you guys will join us Saturday, October 29th at 7 p.m. right here at 709 South Giant City Road here in Carbondale.
All right. God bless. Hope to see you then.